Hello there, this is DBT, and these are the Rooms. And alright, let's play some more Asphalt 8, but actually, this is not the regular version of Asphalt 8, no, you can see it looks different. Why is that? Well, this is not Asphalt 8, this is Asphalt 8 Plus. If you don't know what this is, it's a unique version, a special version, let's say, of Asphalt 8 that is exclusive to Apple Arcade subscription service. This is basically a $5 a month service or something like that. I don't remember the price exactly. That you pay to Apple, and they give you access to a bunch of mobile games that let's say the speciality, is that the word? I don't know. That the particularity about them is that these games don't have in-app purchases, they don't have ads. They're meant to be more like a standard full-on, let's say, console games, where it's a full experience and you get to, well, play the whole thing, enjoy it, and not have to worry about, oh, do I have to make this purchase? Oh, I want this car and I have to buy it, and all of that stuff. So that is the idea behind Apple Arcade. And Asphalt 8 Plus, the version of Apple Arcade, it's exactly that. It's Asphalt 8, granted, it's a little bit of an older build of the game, it's like a year old or so. So it doesn't have the newest cars or any of those fancy things. You can actually see by the UI that it still has the old style of garage and all of that. But as I was saying, this is a completely rebalanced game where it's not dependent on making a bunch of purchases and unlocking cars that way. Instead, the game is rebalanced in a way where getting credits is much easier. In fact, the only real currency in order to purchase and upgrade cars, it's credit. You can see in the top left, and by the way, I'm recording this through an iPhone, so it's not an emulation or anything, so I don't have a mouse to show you exactly where I'm aiming at, so you're gonna have to live with my description. But at the top left, you can see my credits at 86,000. Then there are the Gauntlet badges, or yeah, oh, is that Gauntlet? Yeah, Gauntlet badges, then the multiplayer coins, and then these kind of tokens, these blue things. I will go into a bit more detail on all of them, but the first thing that I want to do is a quick race. And for that, I'm going to go into Alps, because here's a peculiar thing that I want to show you. I don't have a ton of cars at the moment. I only have 10 cars. I'll show them to you with Dodge. We have the Audi, a Cadillac, the F50, Audi RS3 Sportsback, Alfa Romeo, Mercedes-Benz LS AMG Electric Drive, what a name, the BMW M3 Sedan, Mazda Fiorite, and Idle Design Da Vinci. From these cars, I have only bought one, that being the Mazda Fiorite. I'll talk about that at some other point. And of course, I bought it with credits. Again, remember, no in-app purchases, no money spent in order to get cars or anything. But I'm just gonna do a race with the Dodge Dart, the most basic car, because I want to show you something peculiar. The very first thing that caught my attention when I went into Quick Race. First of all, much like Quick Race of old, it's 2 laps. You have to do 2 laps, which sounds a bit like a bad thing, right? Because, oh my god, it's a long race. But here's the very first thing that you might notice. By the way, I'm going on boosted because no point in using boosters at this moment. But do you see that pickup over there? What is that? Oh, you know it. It's credits. You can actually get credits in Quick Race, which is, I imagine, a way to maybe slowly, but surely be able to grind a little bit for credits in case you need more. So this is basically like that minigame when you're installing Asphalt for the first time, where you pick some of those things to get credits. This is exactly that. I think that you can get a total of 10 pickups per race, so that makes it about 5,000 credits per race that you can get. I don't know that they scale up based on your garage or anything. I think they just stay at 500 credits per pickup. But still, right now, keep in mind that I'm doing a race with a very slow car, so this is gonna be a somewhat long race. But honestly, I wanted to do this both to show you these pickups and also to give you a bit more of an idea of what has been my experience with this game so far. Because I do want to make videos on this, but I want to also see what you guys think about it. So, as I was saying, while it is a completely rebalanced game, where the cars in theory should be much easier to acquire and all of that, and so far that seems to be the case, this game is not perfect by any means. I did a little bit of research before I got into the game as to see what people... Oh, I missed those pickups! Ah, jeez. Well, that's why we have 2 laps, so that I'd be able to maybe get them. I did a little bit of research as to what was the deal with this game, and while I don't know, probably 80% of the game seems very enjoyable in unlocking cars, being able to upgrade them in a natural way rather than the hyper grindy mode that the regular version of the game is. It also has some issues where apparently some cars you like. By the time I installed this thing and all, a new update had just dropped where they provided you with the... Well, they didn't provide you. They added the Lamborghini Essenza SB12. But apparently, for people that have been playing this game a lot, Jesus, it's hard to explain because there's so many things going on. Hold on. Maybe I'll go on the lower side this time. Yeah, okay. Just to see if there's any other coin pickups over here. As I mentioned, you can unlock cars with credits, right? And you can also unlock them with licenses. Licenses that you get through mastery, apparently. I don't know if there's more ways to get licenses. But apparently there's some sort of a wall where you can only get so many licenses and you can get pretty much a ton of the cars that are in the game. But then after a certain point, there's no more ways to get licenses. And for example, the Essenza SCV12, people that have been playing this game for a while were complaining that, well, what's the point of adding that car if there's literally no way of getting it? If you've already done all the races, gotten all the licenses, and spent them in all the cars. So I don't quite get how that works, but it does seem to be a big complaint that has been going on for a while now. That the game, while it's an improvement overall compared to Asphalt 8, it also falls into some weird situations where it's like, yeah, apparently they didn't do the math right and they didn't realize that the amount of licenses is just not enough to get all of the cars. Now, there's other ways to unlock cars. Let me get out of here. I don't know how many pickups I got, but hopefully, I don't know. Oh yeah, look at that, I'm at 90,000 credits right now. There's other, ooh, hello Kuntash. Can I, ooh, I could technically buy it, but I'm gonna save a little bit because I don't want to spend my resources right now. So for example, let's go into mastery real quick, and I'm gonna show you the Dodge Dart, for example. You see, basically I've done already a bunch of these races, and what's interesting, in fact, let me show you a different car that I haven't done mastery for. Let's do this one, the Audi. So this Audi, I have it at stock, right? So if we look at the upgrades, that's over here. Where do I check that? Tuning. Yes, of course. You can see that I'm basically at stock. Now the upgrades, as you can see, are cheap, and obviously you upgrade a little bit, then the next upgrade is more expensive and more expensive and so on. But it's not impossibly expensive, and that's the beauty about it. But on top of that, why I wanted to show you the mastery right from the get-go is because the rewards are actually upgrades for the car. So for example, let's go into this race with the Audi. Again, not gonna use some boosters, although I do have already some that I have earned, you know, through some of the things that you gotta do on the game. But anyway, so the beauty about the mastery is that the mastery allows you to upgrade the car at the very least to max. Because remember, this is still back in the day when there was still Max Pro upgrades in this car, not before all of the cars got turned into the hybrid system that it is now in the global version of the game. So they give you, I believe, they give you enough upgrades for this specific car through the mastery to take it to max. Don't ask me why I'm going on this side, I just might as well, right? So on doing the mastery, you will be able to max out the cars. Then how do you take them to pro? That is a question that I'm not ready to answer yet because I haven't gotten that far. But I did want to show a little bit of the fact that, you know, upgrading the cars in this game, it's a completely different thing. It's, you know how in Asphalt, the regular version of Asphalt 8, upgrading cars is such a nightmare situation where I have to grind so much to get some fusion coins and now you need a ton of parts and all of that. Over here is very simple, like, oh, get some of the free upgrades and upgrade your car. It's a bit of a more natural process. Now, like I said, in a way the start of the game is very slow because, well, I'm driving the slow cars, but I do imagine that if I focus on only getting a few of the cars, upgrading a few of the cars by doing the masteries and all of that, I'll be able to make some progress relatively quick. Now, once you're done with or rather, once you have gotten the upgrades that you can get from mastery, then the reward becomes licenses, what I mentioned earlier, that apparently at some other point is going to be useful for upgrading, for unlocking some of the cars. Again, I have yet to see all of that. I don't have experience on that just yet. But I'm trying to give you a little bit of an overview of what this game looks like and what it is. So I'm just doing one quick race over here for the, well, not quick race, one mastery race quickly to show you that. There we go. I got my rewards, and guess what I got? A little bit of credits and an upgrade for the Audi RS Sportback upgrade. So I can go into the second challenge, and guess what? I can already upgrade a little bit the car because I have a free upgrade. One thing that I learned is that maybe at the start you want to apply these upgrades for this little bit of money, because the upgrades can sell for 500 coins. So the very first level of the upgrade, you can just spend the credits and then sell the upgrade, and it'll be a very you'll actually end up with a net positive on credits. But anyway, that's just a little bit of a thing that I noticed. So that is as far as the mastery, but let me show you real quick. As you can see over there, the next challenge number 2, where it says rewards at the bottom, it says that it's 1 upgrade and some credits. If we go a little bit further ahead, you see that it starts giving me 2 and even 3 upgrades, and then later on is when they start giving me the licenses, which is that little blue icon with the wheel. So yeah, that's how you get licenses through the mastery, and obviously for all of the cars, well, there's mastery for all of them and you can do them. Now, I did want to mention, I think I did say that so far I haven't purchased any car with credits. The only one that I did, and that's just because I realized that it was a good opportunity, was the Mazda Fiore. So let me go real quick to my garage, and actually let's go to Classic. So I'm just gonna browse a little bit so that you can see that all of the cars, or most of them, are you can get them through credits. 20,000 for the bike, 9,000 for that one, so on and so forth, right? So I bought the Mazda Fiore because look at the price for the Acura NSX 2005, 23,000. I can afford it, that's not a problem. If we look at this one, it's 29,000. The Mazda Fiore was priced very similar, but this is an ultimate car, so it's already fully upgraded, and that kind of helps me a little bit for Gauntlet, because yeah, I recently unlocked Gauntlet, and this kind of helps me a little bit. That's why I have 120 Gauntlet coins. But yeah, so since this car cannot be upgraded if you go to the mastery, what you get instead is licenses directly from that. Let's do one race with the Mazda Fiore because I love this car. It looks and sounds beautiful, so might as well. So it is indeed a bit interesting on, for example, like I said, the ultimate cars that apparently they just give you the licenses. Now, real quick, oh Jesus, this is so loud. Holy moly. Let's go, Mazda Fiore, oh man, this is so incredibly loud. I might have to lower the volume a little bit of the gameplay. And by the way, like I mentioned, I'm recording this, oh, get out of the way. I'm recording this on the iPhone, so it's a bit of quite the show to get this recording and the video going. It needs some additional level of editing to match the audio with the whatever. It's fine. But yeah, so I have to play this more. I have to figure out how all of the systems in the game work. And also, by the way, again, talking about the fact that I'm playing on an iPhone, my driving is gonna be worse. My driving in the regular Asphalt 8 videos that you've seen is not great. But trust me, when I play directly on a phone, it's much worse because I'm doing tap to steer and in a tiny little screen. It's not super comfortable, but it's fine. At least I can show you some gameplay, I suppose. But yeah, so I wanted to get this Mazda Fiore because again, it was really cheap and it was an ultimate car anyway, so hey, why not? Special events, Gauntlet, and multiplayer, even Moto Blitz, are locked behind a certain amount of stars. You need to get a certain amount of stars in the career in order to unlock those. I'll show you a little bit what is the deal with those things, but let me just finish this race real quick. Just man, I mean, oh Jesus Christ, it's fine, it's fine. Man, I did miss Mastery, to be completely honest. I liked Mastery in the classic version of the game, but oh well. Alright, so Mastery, there we go, we do the race. I don't get a ton of credits per the race itself, 632, but it's alright. Obviously, the objective is the rewards that I'm gonna get. In this case, some licenses. Yeah, come on. License and credits. So, you saw that little pop-up on the daily tasks? Well, that's another thing over here. The daily tasks It's you remember the ad roulette or things like that where you could unlock a car? It's kind of something like that, except that this is task based. Maybe it's a bit more akin to Asphalt 9 on how you can do daily tasks to unlock the Lamborghini Asterion over there. But over here, for example, I already upgraded cars, so I get this. And what did I get? 1 hour Nitro Starter along with daily coins. And you can see that the first one says playing career, the second playing World Series, upgrade cars, playing Gauntlet, and playing Mastery. So that means that every day I can get a 1 hour booster of each one of those. So they're not stingy about the boosters. Then the daily coins. I'll talk about that in a second. If we look on the left side, it says that I can unlock the Chevrolet Corvette Stingray if I do enough of the daily tasks. Right now, ever since I started playing, I've only done 17 because I really haven't played all that much. But I've done 17 of those, and I have 110 of these token coins, or whatever you want to call them. I don't know. What are they called? I don't know. Whatever. So eventually, I will be able to unlock this card just by doing the daily tasks. Now, these coins, what are they good for? Well, that's another way of unlocking cars. So I wanted to show you real quick a bit more of a broad look at the garage. You can see some cars, you get it just by getting the required amount of stars. You see this car unlocks at 450 stars. This car, at some point, I unlocked it to 380 stars. That's credits, more stars. So let's jump a little bit into Class A. And let's, oh, look at that. Credits. You unlock this in Racer Path, although I don't know what that is yet. I just want to see what else is out there. Because I know... Oh yeah, look at that. Unlocks at that amount of what's it called? Of licenses. Jesus Christ, I keep forgetting the names. Then credits. I know that there's one car in particular that you have to unlock with those coins. I don't see it right over here, but I should be getting close to it. When you see which one it is, you're gonna be like, oh, I see what they did. I see what they did. So credits, licenses, all of that stuff, stars. But here comes, wait for it, give it a second, it'll show up. There it is. 6,000 of those in order to get the Koenigsegg Jesko. I don't know if there's any other card that requires this currency, but apparently at least the Koenigsegg Jesko, which is the king of the game, I suppose, at this point in this version of the game, because remember, there's no Elite, there's no 300 plus. Yeah, you can unlock it through that. So I think that gives you a little bit of an idea on what are the main things about the game, on how you unlock cars. Again, I know I'm doing a terrible job. There's so many things to talk about that it's difficult for me to try to bring them all up right away. Let me show you real quick over here the events, for example. No time limited events available? What? Oh, that's interesting. There were time limited events a little while ago. I don't know why they're not available, but okay. We can go into Gauntlet. Gauntlet is very much what you kind of remember from Gauntlet, except the rewards are different. Over here you can see there's no fusion coins, obviously, so the rewards are credits and the Gauntlet badges. You can see over here some parts and all of that stuff. So how about we do a defense lap? That's why I wanted to get the Mazda Furai, because it's currently my best car. These are my best cars, so you can see I'm very much at the very beginning of the game. So obviously I have a terrible garage and all of that. That's kind of expected, but you know, it's also kind of fun. Honestly, it's been an interesting experience for me to look at the game. Even if it's a different version of the game, but look at the game from the lower side. You know, for a while I've been used to having really good cars and all of that, but looking at, you know, Gauntlet, like I did last week in this version of the game, Gauntlet with super terrible cars and seeing people's defense laps and all of that, it was really interesting. I don't know, I find it kind of amusing. And one thing that I should mention, apparently this game, and it makes sense, this game doesn't have the same number of players as the regular version of the game, obviously. From what I understand, even multiplayer is kind of dead and all of that. So the way that I see this game, it's for you to have some fun in the single player, in a collecting type of situation where you want to get a ton of cars, unlock them, upgrade them, because again, upgrading them is not difficult in this game, at least not that I have seen yet. So there's that side, but that's not to say that there's no multiplayer. There is multiplayer. In fact, I did a race yesterday. It's just that currently the multiplayer series going on is Master Season, and obviously I have terrible cars for Master Season, so it's not like I can do a whole lot. But we can have a quick look at that in a second. I just want to set up the defense lab so that you can see the rewards for doing the daily races in Gauntlet, because the rewards are different, obviously, than what you are used to in the regular version of Asphalt 8. Look at that. This is one very short track, and I'm already cycled all the way back to my Mazda Fiore. I'm telling you, with really slow cars, the game feels like a different game. It's kind of interesting to me. But anyway, so there we go. That is my defense lab for the time being. A little bit of credits from that. And here we go. Obviously, I'm at the lowest of the lowest league, but let's look at the... Where is it? Here? No. Oh, in this. All right, first of all, the first thing that you're going to notice is that the rewards are given. You need to do twice as many Gauntlet races to get all the rewards. In the normal version, it's up to 5 races. You get your rewards, and that's that. Over here, it's at the 2 races mark. You can get this. Some credits, some booster, which is a 5-minute booster, not a whole lot, but hey, I guess you're gonna get a bunch of them. Then boosters, more. These wildcards, by the way, which can be used, I'm not sure yet how, we'll look at that in a second. Some more credits, some more credits. If we look at the higher rewards, it's much more credits and different. Oh, the boosters are still 5 minutes only. Okay, fair enough. Then over here, the maximum reward, 1,000, then another 5-minute booster, a wild card, and over here 5,000 and whatnot. All right, so that kind of gives you a little bit of an idea of Gauntlets. Apparently this season is gonna end in 3 days and 15 hours, so that would make it, yeah, I think it ends about the same time as Global. Okay, that's fair. The World Series, all right. Let's have a look at it. Moto Blitz, at the moment it's locked, so I cannot do that. You can see that I've done a grand total of 1 race in multiplayer over here, so yeah, I don't expect... Don't ask me why my name is However. This was a random name that I chose at some point, so whatever. I don't know that I can change it. If I can change it, I will change it at some point. So, alright, let's see how long it takes for us to get a lobby. So... Granted, I'm recording this at very late at night on my time zone, so I don't know if this is a good time or a bad time, but hey, whatever. We'll figure it out eventually. From the 1 race that I've done, it did take a little bit for the lobby to start up. Notice that I said start up, not fill up. Yeah. It didn't. I got a race with like 4 more people, and surprisingly I was getting not a terrible result, because most of them were going unboosted and also running with bad cars and whatnot. But you can see over here, yeah, it's kind of dead. Like I said, probably if I stay here long enough, I'm gonna get into a match, but for the time being, it's not happening. So I don't want to waste a whole lot of time waiting here. And again, there's so much more to see in here that I don't want to go into that at the moment. So, as far as the career mode, well, the career, again, it's kind of what you're used to, although right now, obviously, a bunch of it is locked, just because I don't have the necessary amount of stars, but I will eventually get to it. So far, I haven't hit a roadblock in the career mode. Like, oh, they're asking me for a car that I don't have. No, not so far. The cars excuse me, let me try that again. The cars are unlocking at a steady pace based on the progression that I'm doing in career. In fact, I do believe that the career itself is edited from the career that we know in the global version, so there's that. So, for example, over here we got a classic race. Gonna do some knockdowns and stuff with the BMW M3 sedan. I didn't purchase this car, I just have it now. Again, because it just has been unlocking. So... yeah, it's basically what I'm trying to get at, or what I'm trying to get at, is that this is a familiar game, you know? I don't think there's anything that you can say like, wow, they're doing something incredibly different. This is the game that you know, it plays like the game that you know. It's only that the fact that it no longer relies in microtransactions and you can just get car after car after car by just making progression in the game. It's such a refreshing thing. It makes me think of, I don't know, a collectible type of game. Obviously this is racing, but with a side dish of collectibles, because, you know, there's a ton of cars. Like I said, yeah, this version is like a year behind from where the global version is, and I don't think it's gonna update at that same pace. It's very slow for, oh Jesus Christ, for this version to get updates. But again, it probably still has easily over 300 cars in this version of the game. or around 300 cars, let's leave it at that. So that's still a lot of cars that you can get. Oh, you know what, never mind. I might have to correct that, because I do know that there's some cars that were removed. Like, for example, I don't believe that the F1 cars over here, I mean the Formula 1 cars, obviously not the Hot Wheels. So I imagine that any cars that they have had license issues with, it got completely removed from this version of the game. Like, I doubt there's a Tesla. Like I said, no Hot Wheels, no F1, but whatever. Still, let's say 200 cars. Let's leave it at 200 cars. If this game still has 200 cars and you can just unlock them all, well, that's some fun. And you know, you can still do Gauntlet. Gauntlet is still out there. You can do multiplayer from time to time. So I don't want to say that this is the end-all be-all version of Asphalt 8 in the sense that, well, a smaller player base also means that it's gonna be a bit more dead in the whole multiplayer aspect. But I do believe that the game offers enough to simply have fun, even if you're just playing by yourself. But again, you can always do a little bit of Gauntlet, and that's, you know, asynchronous multiplayer. I think a lot of people ought to have some fun with that. And now that you're able to unlock cars by just virtue of playing, then you can really try weird things with your Gauntlet lineup, since upgrading them is not gonna cost the savings that you did for the past 3 months, you know? So that is why I look at this game. Oh, that's a lot of credits. I like it. That's why I look at this version of the game like a very interesting proposition. I think the whole thing is interesting. And like I said, I want to play it a bunch more. Right now, like I said, this is a bit of a rambly video because I needed to give you a little bit of an idea of what the game is, what the game offers. Oh, look at that. There's oh, look at that. You can, yeah, okay. So you can use these coins after all in something else to buy parts. Oh, you want to know something else that is interesting? If we go to the inventory, I don't think there's a limit for your inventory. Unlimited inventory. How cool is that? So basically you can just hoard up whatever you want. Over here, finally, here are the wild cards. I wanted to see what they're for because I'm not even sure. Convert. Oh, so use the wild cards to convert into parts. Oh, that's interesting. And the price is 250 credits, so that's considerably easy to do. All right, yeah, that's interesting. Like I said, I got some boosters simply because I've been doing some of the daily tasks. I really haven't played a whole lot because I wanted to record the early stage of the game. From this point onward, before I do another video, it's not like I'm gonna do daily videos on this. I don't know, maybe next week I'll do another video and I would have played a bunch more. Maybe I have unlocked new cars and I can give you more information as to how the game has been feeling so far. Let me know in the comments if you're interested in seeing more of this, because man, I am really invested into doing it. One last thing that I just remembered, some tracks are actually locked behind career progression. You can see over here. I need to get this many stars to continue unlocking other versions of the track and all of that. Again, I think that is kind of interesting, so there is that. So overall, interesting proposition. The only problem I have with this version of the game so far is that I can only play it on an iPhone. I'm not a big iOS user. I don't like iOS, and this iPhone is actually not mine. I got it borrowed for an indeterminate amount of time, so it's not that I'm under pressure to finish this real quick or anything, but still. And another thing is that the iPhone heats up like crazy when I'm playing this, so I literally had to buy a phone cooler, believe it or not, so that I could get this going. Let me see if the microphone can pick this noise up. No, I don't think it can pick it up. I don't know, I'll review the audio. But yeah, basically it's a fan, it's literally a cooler so that the phone doesn't heat up. Because unfortunately that is a thing on the iPhone. I'm playing on an iPhone X. And it is just very annoying that if I play this game for 5-10 minutes, the phone heats up crazily and it thermal throttles, meaning that it starts performing like crap. Super slow, crazy slowdowns. So that is indeed very, very annoying. So, alright, just to finish this up, how about we attack some lap? Again, these are my best cars anyway, so it's not like I got much choosing to do, and I don't want to use a 1 hour tuning right now, so I'm just gonna go move. But yeah, overall, the game definitely feels like a fresh thing, and I do want to make a bunch of content on this. Like I said, it's gonna be periodic so that I make more progress, but trust me, the progress that I'll make over here will be 10 times faster than any progress that I can do in the global version. So that's why I wanted to do this, because I'll be able to drive a bunch of cars that I haven't driven and give you my thoughts on, you know, the cars in this old version of the game. And the fact that it's the old version, maybe, well, with the old balance and all of that, I could make it interesting or annoying. We'll see what happens. At least I know that there's still a ton of Lambos, so that makes me happy nonetheless. And this guy is just right away passing me like that. That's fine. That's what I get for going on boosted and with cars that are not fully upgraded. Oh, Jesus! And like I said, by the way, expect terrible punch drifts over here, because doing punch drift in this setup, it's almost impossible. Let me try one. So we do it like this. Maybe on the other side we'll try it. It's very annoying to do punch drift. Oh yeah, we're gonna need it with this. Yeah, it's difficult. I can do them at this speed, but whenever I get to drive a faster car, you'll see that I'm gonna miss them so badly. So yeah, expect to see some nonsense in that regards. But yeah, that is gonna do it for this video. Again, let me know in the comments what you think about the whole thing. If you're interested in seeing how the progression goes in this game, even if I don't show you every single step, think a little about it like the Asphalt 7 playthrough, where, you know, I was able to play the entirety of the career and all of that. Because it didn't rely so much in microtransactions, so it would be something like that, except that there's so many races to do over here that I'm not really gonna do every single step of the way. But anyway, again, that's gonna do it for this video. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know in the comments what you think, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care and stay safe. Bye. Hold on. I can finish this. At least I want to win this one race. Come on. I mean, I'm so far ahead that winning is all but guaranteed. And lovely. Thank you, iPhone. Thank you. All right. See ya. Bye-bye.